Hey guys, it's Alexis.
And Christian from Tiny House Expedition, and we're here today with another Tiny Stuff product review.
And what we have to show you today is powerful. In fact, it's the most powerful portable power station we've ever tried out.
And this is the guy right here. This is the Bluetti
AC200 Max. It's a modular, expandable power station with an incredible 2,048 watt-hour power capacity.
It also has a 2200 watt pure sine wave inverter, and that's important if you're running things like refrigerators or even computers.
And this baby has more than double the power capacity of most mobile power stations on the market.
One of the fantastic things about the Bluetti is that it can power our entire tiny house. And it can do it really easily because it has this 30 amp outlet right here. So we just plug straight into that and turns on the whole house.
That's new.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So it's just like, you know, plugging in an RV. So this is fantastic for plugging in an entire RV.
But the question I have is, how long can it run our tiny house for?
Well, it should be able to run it for an entire day, a night, and into the next day. And then that's mostly because we are not really power hungry with our tiny house. We run laptops, we run that kind of stuff. And that's because we do have a propane stove and water heater. But it is winter right now and we're still running a good bit of power because we have a space heater in there.
So if your tiny house needs much more power than we do, like say you're a 50 amp tiny house,
Yeah.
then this won't run your house as long.
Correct.
But the key really is to get the most out of this is ABC.
Always be closing.
No, always be charging the power station. So to power our tiny house on an ongoing basis with the AC200 Max, we need to max out our solar input.
Correct, yes. And as of right now, our tiny house has two 150 watt panels on it, so that's only 300 watts. And this guy can actually take in up to 900 watts of solar, so that's awesome.
But we have a couple challenges right now. We're in a new parking spot.
Yeah.
And our
We've only been here 2 weeks.
Yeah. As you can see, it's snowing.
Yeah.
And our solar panels are mounted on the wrong side of the house.
The wrong side of the house. Yeah.
They need to be south facing and they're not.
Yep. The charging capability is really what sets us apart from other power stations. One of the things you can do is plug in your solar into this guy and get 900 watts straight in. But if you have the ability to also plug it into a wall outlet, you can do that and get a total of 1,400 watts into the power station all at once.
That's so crazy. So, and I think they say on the website that means it can recharge in only 2 hours.
So this guy comes with a set of MC4 connectors that are pretty much universal for solar panels. So you can use one of Bluetti's solar panels, or you can even buy your own off-brand and it'll still connect to this guy.
Yeah, and there's a ton of options out there at a broad range of price points.
Yep. And power.
There's actually 7 different ways to recharge the AC200 Max. And those ways are, per the website, solar, like we mentioned, the solar and AC, of course, but you can also charge it with a car, a generator, or a lead acid battery.
So we're connected to shore power in our new parking spot, so we don't need to rely on this guy. But if we do get into a bind and power goes out this winter, we're absolutely going to use this as backup power.
Yeah, and we'll be in pretty good shape, I think.
Oh, totally, yeah. We'll still be able to have heat, we'll be able to watch TV, run our computers. You know, it'll be like nothing ever happened, like power didn't go out.
So I can just imagine waking up on a cold morning and the power went out and I reach for my phone and I turn on the Bluetti app and boom, I connect to power, right?
No, that's not how it works. That's after I get up and go outside and connect this guy to the power.
And I say cozy in bed.
And you turn it on. You'll be cozy in bed either way, so.
But I can still turn it on with my phone. So I like lazy stuff.
Yes, she does.
But there's one thing I would change. It shows the battery status in percentage, but not in time. So you don't know if it's going to last an hour or a day. And for planning purposes, that would be really helpful. So I hope in the future they update the app to show that.
So again, we can plug our entire tiny house into the AC200 Max through this 30 amp outlet. And what that runs inside our house is the refrigerator, our heater, all of our lights, laptops, and even our TV set. And that's where it would be good to have a time estimate clock on the display screen here to know when this guy is going to be down to 0. And instead, it's just monitoring the actual percentage. Unless you want to do something like do math, then you can figure out exactly how long this will actually last. Right now, we have 2 appliances plugged in all of the time, but they don't actually run all the time, and that's our refrigerator and our heater. So the heater has a 1500 watt capacity. We almost never use it at that wattage. It's usually turned down to maybe like 600, and it kicks on and off all day long. So it's never constantly on. And that's the same thing with the fridge. The fridge has a compressor and it turns on and off when it needs to get power. And it uses about maybe 400 watts through a whole day. So when the compressor kicks on our refrigerator, it has a surge in power. And we have a tiny fridge, so it's not a huge surge, but the AC200 Max has a 4,800 watt surge protector in it, and holy cow, that's massive. So it's really awesome. Our heater isn't even that high. It only goes up to 1,500 watts. So that's a really cool feature inside the AC200 Max. So during the day, we're charging the AC200 Max. So it's constantly getting power to it while we're using the power. So we don't have to worry too much during the day, but at night, when there's no sun, this isn't charging, so it's draining the power. And the cool thing is we usually turn down the heater and the fridge isn't running as much, so we're not using that much power at night. And when the sun comes up the next morning, we are charging again. Whenever you're plugging in AC electronics or appliances, you want to make sure and have a pure sine wave inverter. And what that does is it converts the DC to AC power that you can use, and it does it in a really safe and efficient way. And the AC200 Max has the pure sine wave inverter, and not all power stations have that. They might have a modified sine wave, and if you plug an electronic into it, it could actually damage it over time. So the new parking spot has a well, so if the power goes out, the pump stops working. So this is a great thing to have as backup for our well, and we'll just have continuous water.
So the AC200 Max is portable, so that means we could take it wherever we need power, like for overnight camping at the ski resort.
Keep in mind that this guy is 62 pounds, so that is hefty, but it is a lot lighter than older models of power station. And right now I'm working on a shuttle bus conversion build, which is a lot of fun. And I've been using this guy to do things like power my power tools and also a little heater, because it is winter.
Aren't you supposed to be working?
I am working, look. I got things and tools and I'm working.
And the reason why he can run the space heater and for long periods of time is because of the significant power capacity and because of that power inverter, because a lot of space heaters do have quite a bit of surge when you first turn them on.
And another cool thing is that this guy comes with 16 different outlets, so you can charge 16 different things.
That's crazy. And it almost seems too good to be true, and we wanted to put it to the test, but it's really hard to find 16 things to plug into at the same time. But we did our best to max it out, and I do have to say it's held up just fine.
And with all that power, according to the website, Excuse me, I'm going blind. The website says that the AC200 Max can power a standard refrigerator for about 30 to 56 hours and a CPAP machine for about 40 plus. You know, during a power outage, that is absolutely amazing to have that much power. And maybe it's a good idea to have it centrally located just so you can actually reach it and have enough power cords, extension cords to get to everything that you need.
Yeah, I guess that would make it happen.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like we said at the beginning, the AC200 Max is expandable. So that means you can add extra batteries for more power.
Which is so cool.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
That's one of the best features of this thing, I think. The Bluetti offers the B230 expansion battery module that expands the total capacity to a staggering 8,192 watt hours.
That's insane.
Wow.
That's absolutely insane. That is huge.
So the question is, how much does all this cost?
It's a good question. And the answer is about $2,000. So that is about $1 a watt. And that actually makes sense. It's a very competitive price for a lot of the other models that are out there too.
Yeah, I think it's actually on par, but probably less than the other ones out there. But plan to spend about another $1,700 for the B230 expansion battery. And the good news is Bluetti does offer occasional specials, so keep an eye out for those.
There's a lot of good things to say about the AC200 Max by Bluetti. This thing being 2,048 watts, holy cow, that is a lot of power to come out of something so small. It has so many outlets. This 30 amp outlet is like the greatest for RVers, for tiny housers.
I think it's really innovative compared to the other models out there. I mean, there's a lot. Who doesn't have a power station these days?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, everyone's selling power stations, but they're not created equal. And if you want something robust, something versatile, I think this could have a lot to offer.
Yeah, totally. And being able to get the battery for this to do the expansion, oh my God, that is so much power. That makes this really, really amazing.
So if you want to learn more, or if you want to get the AC200 Max and the B230 expansion module, check out the link in the description below.
We're gonna go inside and get warm.
Time for some cocoa. Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.